10 states with strict gun control. What if stronger gun control laws could save lives? Imagine living in a state where gun deaths drop, mass shootings are rare, and responsible gun ownership is the standard. Could this be our future? In some states, strict gun control has worked. But what happens when these laws go against public opinion? Are these laws enough? Or do we still have a long way to go? From background checks to banning assault weapons, let's explore how some states are fighting gun violence. But with more people pushing back, will these efforts really make a difference? Stay with us as we take a look at the 10 states with the strongest gun control. 10. Washington. Washington state saw a sharp increase in gun deaths in 2022, rising to 12.4 per 100,000 residents, up from 9.8 in 2015. While the number increased, the state's gun death rate is still below the national average. To reduce gun violence, Washington has passed major laws to limit gun-related incidents. In 2018, Washington approved Initiative 1639, which requires background checks on all gun sales, including private transactions. The state also introduced Extreme Risk Protection Orders, ERPOs, or red flag laws, allowing police and family members to request the temporary removal of guns from people who may harm themselves or others. In 2023, Washington went further by banning the sale of assault-style weapons to help prevent mass shootings. These laws show Washington's ongoing commitment to public safety and reducing gun violence. 9. Rhode Island. Rhode Island has the lowest gun death rate in the U.S., with just 3 deaths per 100,000 residents. This success is largely due to the state's strict gun laws. The state requires extensive background checks on all gun sales, including private sales, and a permit to purchase any firearm. Rhode Island also banned assault weapons and high-capacity magazines to lower the risk of mass shootings. The state has also passed red flag laws, allowing police and family members to temporarily take guns from individuals who are considered dangerous. Thanks to these laws, firearm homicides dropped by 40% over the past decade. In 2022, Rhode Island reported 52 gun-related deaths, mostly from homicides. 8. Maryland. In Maryland, 1 person dies from gun violence every 11 hours, highlighting the state's ongoing struggle with firearm-related deaths. Despite this, Maryland's strict gun laws have kept its gun death rate lower than many states. The state requires thorough background checks on all gun sales. Maryland also bans assault weapons and large-capacity magazines to help prevent mass shootings. Red flag laws allow authorities to temporarily remove guns from individuals considered a risk. These laws helped cut gun homicides by 40% in the decade after they were introduced. In 2023, Maryland ranked 14th lowest in gun deaths among U.S. states, but challenges remain. 7. Illinois. In 2022, Illinois had 1,798 gun-related deaths, including more than 1,000 homicides. This shows the state's continued battle with gun violence, even with some of the nation's toughest gun laws. After the Highland Park mass shooting in July 2022, Illinois banned assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. The state also requires residents to get a firearm owner's identification F.O.I.D card before legally owning a gun, ensuring that only responsible individuals can possess firearms. Illinois' red flag laws let police and family members request the temporary removal of guns from people who pose a threat. Even with these laws, reducing gun violence remains a challenge, showing how enforcement and public opposition can affect the success of strong gun policies. 6. Massachusetts. Massachusetts has the lowest gun fatality rate in the country, with 259 gun deaths in 2023. This is largely because of the state's strict gun laws. Massachusetts requires thorough background checks for all gun buyers, including private sales, and a permit to purchase a firearm. The state also bans assault weapons and high-capacity magazines to help prevent mass shootings. Red flag laws let officials temporarily take guns from individuals considered dangerous, which has helped lower firearm homicides by 40%. In October 2024, Governor Maura Healey signed new laws banning ghost guns, bump stocks, and trigger cranks and made live-fire training mandatory for gun license applicants. Despite these efforts, Massachusetts still faces challenges, as gun rights groups are pushing to overturn the law in the 2026 election. 5. Hawaii. Hawaii has one of the lowest rates of gun deaths in the U.S. because of its strict gun control policies. The state requires thorough background checks for all gun purchases, including private sales, and a permit to buy any firearm. Hawaii also bans assault weapons and high-capacity magazines to help prevent mass shootings. Its red flag laws allow police to temporarily take guns from people considered dangerous. These policies helped lower firearm homicides by 40% in the first 10 years after they were enacted. In 2019, Hawaii reported only 64 gun-related deaths, 65% of which were suicides. To address new threats, Hawaii passed a 2023 law banning open carry and cracking down on ghost guns, homemade firearms with no serial numbers. 4. New York. Did you know New York has one of the strictest gun control systems in the US? Its strong laws have significantly reduced gun fatalities. New York requires background checks for all gun purchases, including private sales and a permit to own a firearm. The state also bans assault weapons and high-capacity magazines to help stop mass shootings. Its red flag laws allow authorities to temporarily remove guns from people considered a threat. These measures led to a 40% drop in gun homicides. In 2019, however, the state still saw more than 1,000 gun-related deaths, with suicides making up 60% of them. To address this, Governor Kathy Hochul added more restrictions in 2023, closing loopholes on ghost guns and open carry. Even with challenges, New York remains a national example of strict gun control policies. 3. Connecticut. In Connecticut, gun control has saved lives. The state saw a 40% drop in firearm homicides in the first decade after passing strict laws, including universal background checks for all gun sales. Connecticut also requires a permit to buy any gun and bans assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. These laws help prevent mass shootings, while the red flag law allows police to temporarily remove firearms from people considered a risk. In 2019, Connecticut reported 181 firearm deaths, 61% of which were suicides. The state continues to strengthen its laws to tackle emerging threats, such as ghost guns, untraceable homemade firearms. In 2023, Governor Ned Lamont signed a bill that further restricted assault weapons and banned open carry. 2. New Jersey. New Jersey's strict gun laws have helped keep gun deaths low. The state requires background checks for all gun sales, including private transactions, and a permit to buy any firearm. New Jersey also bans assault weapons and large-capacity magazines to reduce the risk of mass shootings. Red flag laws allow police and family members to ask a court to temporarily take guns from individuals who may be a danger to themselves or others. These laws helped reduce gun deaths by 13% between 2014 and 2023. In 2021, New Jersey had the third lowest rate of gun deaths in the US, with a total of 471 fatalities. In October 2018, Governor Phil Murphy signed a law banning ghost guns in an effort to prevent untraceable weapons from being used in crimes. 1. California. Did you know California has one of the lowest gun death rates in the US? Thanks to its strict gun laws? The state requires thorough background checks for all gun sales, including private transactions, and enforces a 10-day waiting period before buyers can take ownership of a firearm. In addition to banning assault weapons and large-capacity magazines, California has red flag laws, allowing police and family members to temporarily remove firearms from individuals who pose a threat. These policies helped reduce overall homicides by nearly 15%. Over 1 million guns were sold in California in 2023, showing that demand for firearms is still high, even with strict regulations. Gun violence is also more common in rural areas like Delano, where firearm-related homicides are higher than in some cities. That's all for today. What do you think about strict gun control laws? Which state would you move to for a safer environment? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more great content. Thanks for watching,